All right, Minnesota Timberwolves beat the Denver Nuggets 119 to 114, and it was an amazing game. Probably the best game of the playoffs so far. There have been just so many good ones. It's hard to say, but definitely one of the best ones. First thing, I'll say the officiating was kind of weird in this game. There's the Denver has like 3 or 4 different 4-point plays in the first quarter. I know Jamal Murray completes 2 of them. Tim Hardaway had another one. I don't remember if he made his free throw or not, but he did get fouled on a three. I thought the Tim Hardaway one wasn't a foul, and at least one of the Jamal Murray ones was kind of questionable, but they love to call the fouls on the three balls. There was another call. I will say I thought the officials let both teams play really physical. Other than the other than the first quarter where they had those 4-point play opportunities, I thought officiating was pretty good. I didn't think it really favored either team. No team had like an advantage with the officiating, and I thought they let both teams play really physical after the first quarter at least. There was one more play I noticed. I think it was in the second quarter, I want to say. They ended up challenging the call. Minnesota challenges the call, but it was Jaden McDaniels. He's chasing down. Pretty sure, yeah, he's chasing down Christian Brown. He's coming up from behind him. If y'all remember the play, Christian Brown goes up. Jaden McDaniels gets the block up top. He blocks him all ball up top. They're saying that there was contact down low, but on the replay, if you guys remember, they said it was knee-to-knee contact, but Jaden McDaniels makes no contact at all down low with Christian Brown. He goes up top. Pretty sure he either blocks it all ball or Christian Brown just ends up missing the layup. I'm pretty sure Jaden McDaniels blocks that shot, though. It's just 100% clean. Blocks him totally clean up top. There's no chest-to-chest bump, anything like that. They ended up saying it was knee-to-knee contact down low, but there was no knee-to-knee contact either. Minnesota challenges that play, and they still don't reverse it, even though on the replay it's obviously not a foul. That's one thing that'll annoy me with the referees is whenever there's a challenge, I already know the officials are gonna do just everything they can not to reverse the call because it's like a pride thing for them almost. It was Tony Brothers, I'm pretty sure, on that call, and it was just a horrible call. Even on the replay after they challenge it, it's like it's obviously not a foul. Just turn it around and get the call right instead of trying to stand on your pride as an official. But other than that, I thought the game was really physical, and I think officiating was favoring either one of the two teams. It's our little lead chart right here. Denver's the baby blue, of course. Minnesota is the darker blue. Denver hops out. They get up 19 points in the second quarter. Minnesota's just taking a bunch of outside shots. Anthony Edwards is dancing around and shooting threes. He knocked down at least one in the first quarter, maybe even two, but he's dancing around. Jaden McDaniels is taking long threes. Julius Randle is settling for threes, and Denver gets out 19 points by the time we're starting the second quarter. And then Anthony Edwards, Julius Randle, everyone just starts attacking the rim. Dante DiVincenzo knocked down at least one or two threes in the second quarter as well. I want to say Julius Randle knocked one down. Rudy Gobert. There was one play I remember. Anthony Edwards gets double teamed. He passes it to Julius Randle, and Randle immediately passes it to Gobert on the baseline for a finish. So Minnesota finally starts moving the ball, and then after they after they stopped settling for those outside shots in the first quarter, they were able to chip into that lead, and they were actually out in front going into the third quarter. And that was when Jamal Murray knocked down that half court shot to end the first half. Moving on though, Minnesota wins by the 5 points, 119 to 114. Timberwolves have 49 rebounds to Denver's 43, so they beat them by 6 rebounds, but that's nothing too crazy. 30 assists for the Timberwolves, 28 for the Nuggets. That's just about a wash right there. 6 steals for Minnesota, 5 for Denver, 2 blocks for the Timberwolves, 1 for Denver. Again, just about a wash, no huge difference. Denver only has 9 turnovers. They do such a great job taking care of the ball. Minnesota has 12. Minnesota had a couple just kind of boneheaded turnovers. They had a couple passes that just went over. I think one was to DiVincenzo. One of those passes just went over his head. They had a couple other live ball turnovers. but both teams did a good job taking care of the ball. Denver did a better job, of course. 9 turnovers is just an insane number to have throughout the entire game. 48% for the Timberwolves from the field. Denver's 44%. Minnesota, once Anthony Edwards finally figured it out, they're just double teaming him, triple teaming him every single play. He started trusting his teammates and passing the ball off, and then Minnesota started playing beautiful offense. It looked really similar to what Denver does, except Anthony Edwards is initiating from outside the three-point line instead of Nikola Jokic, kind of catching it right there on the key. Jokic will initiate right there at the top of the three-point line as well, but it was just a perimeter player initiating things in Anthony Edwards versus Nikola Jokic, kind of generating out of the post, but same concept. They double team you, you pass the ball, you trust your teammates, they swing it around. You might not get the assist, but you still created a wide open shot just off of your gravity. Minnesota's 41% from three. Dante DiVincenzo was so wet out there. I think Anthony Edwards, he didn't shoot well for the game, but I think he shot pretty well from three. Also, Nuggets are 36% from three, so I don't think that's horrible. They're a really good offense. They can definitely win a game shooting 36% from three, but Minnesota just outshot them out there. Timberwolves are 63% from the line. That's pretty ass. Denver's 76. Minnesota wins points in the paint, 52 points in the paint to 40 for Denver. Denver has no shot blocking presence out there. Nikola Jokic, he can play good, good like one-on-one post defense. He's really big and physical. He's 7 feet tall, but he's not going to move around laterally. He's not going to cover, a big radius inside of the paint and get those shots and bother people's shots. Again, in the first quarter, Minnesota is settling for a bunch of outside shots. Austin Rivers was on the commentary. He did an awesome job, but he kind of points that out. He's just saying the Nuggets have no shot blocker down there. Jokic is either in or Valanciunas comes in. Aaron Gordon's a decent shot blocker, but he can't cover a really large perimeter inside of the paint like a Victor Wembanyama or a Rudy Gobert would be able to do. Evan Mobley's another good example of a player that can just cover a big perimeter in the paint, but Denver doesn't have that player down there, and it's going to be interesting moving forward in the series. Once Minnesota stopped settling for outside shots and started attacking the paint, they were just getting pretty much anything they wanted down there as long as they were getting it off of good ball movement. Again, back to the lack of size. Minnesota has 20 second chance points. Denver only has 3. It's kind of crazy to only have 3 second chance points, but again, Denver, they just run really efficient offense. It's not like they're missing a lot of shots out there for the most part, even though they were only 44% from the field in this game. But yeah, when they're missing a shot, Julius Randle, Jaden McDaniels, Rudy Gobert, we'll get to the stats in a second. Anthony Edwards, DiVincenzo will get his nose in there. Just a bunch of dogs on Minnesota. They're a more physical team, and they normally win second chance points, especially with Rudy Gobert, again, Julius Randle, all the size they have out there. Denver has 21 fast break points. Minnesota has 13. Denver usually wins the transition points battle, though. Moving on, We'll start with Denver. Aaron Gordon, he has 8 points. He's 3 for 9 out there. 1 for 4 from 3, the 7 rebounds and the 4 assists. He has 0 turnovers, so that's good to see. 1 for 4 from 3. They'd like to see him knock down a couple more threes out there. He always plays just great physical defense. He's the best, easily the best defender that Denver has. One thing I noticed with Aaron Gordon, we'll kind of start talking about Jamal Murray right now as well. It's probably like 50 seconds left in the game. If y'all remember, Minnesota is up. They're up 4 points at that point. Jamal Murray comes off of a Jokic screen. It's a shot that he makes a lot of the time, but just closer to the hoop. But he comes off the Jokic screen. He has Aaron Gordon in the corner. Aaron Gordon's covered. He's not wide open. But Jamal Murray comes off. He hits, I want to say it was Jaden McDaniels, but he hits him with his little step back that he always does. Hits him with the right shoulder bump, steps back, and shoots like the longest fucking 2-point shot he could have taken. He's maybe 1 foot inside of the 3-point line. If y'all watch the replay, Aaron Gordon's in the corner. You just see Aaron Gordon put his hands up like this. He's looking at Jamal Murray. Like, what the fuck are you doing? It wasn't a horrible shot, just like in the flow of the game, but it was honestly a horrible shot for that situation. If y'all remember the play, the 2 point step back jumper he took was just such a long jumper. It was like you might as well just take an extra step back and shoot up a three ball if you're gonna shoot a jumper that long. But I did notice that with Aaron Gordon, he just stuck his hands out when Jamal Murray shot that shot. Like, what the fuck are you doing, bro? And I did the same thing as well. It was just such a long 2 point jumper. I was thinking either try to get all the way to the hoop and get fouled or shoot the three ball. Or if he's going to shoot the mid range jumper, he knocks him down like crazy, but at least get another step closer to the rim. Because if y'all remember, it was just a really long 2 point shot, and it was a really bad shot for that situation down four. But Aaron Gordon wasn't great offensively. He played really well defensively, has no steals, no blocks, but he's always in the right position and just plays really physical defense out there. Cam Johnson has 13 points, 1 for 6 from three, so that's not great. 2 assists, 1 steal. He's 5 for 10. He's 50% shooting, so he had a solid game. They'd like to see him knock down a couple more threes out there, of course, but I thought Cam Johnson played pretty well. Christian Brown's a dog. I love Christian Brown. He has the 16 points. He's 5 for 9, 1 for 3 from three, 5 assists and 3 rebounds. So he had a decent game. I'd already mentioned it earlier. It was that Christian Brown dunk earlier. Just back to the officiating. Jaden McDaniels, if y'all remember, gets the clean block up top. It's all ball, and the Timberwolves challenge it, and they still end up giving Jaden McDaniels that foul on Christian Brown. But Brown had a solid game. He's kind of like what Dante DiVincenzo is for the Timberwolves. That's what Christian Brown is for the Nuggets. But I think Dante DiVincenzo is the better version. I think Dante's just a better player out there. But yeah, Christian Brown, the 16 points and 5 assists, 5 for 9, so he's really efficient. Christian Brown did everything he needed to do to help the Nuggets win the game, but Jamal Murray Jamal Murray had a good game. He has the 30 points, 7 rebounds, 7 assists. He has that crazy shot at the end of the first quarter, the end of the first half, that crazy half court shot. He had a big floater. I think it was like 2 minutes left. If y'all remember the shot, it was over Gobert. It was a crazy ass floater though. He's on kind of the right side of the court. He snakes his way in. He's going back to the left, and it's a 1 foot. He's kind of fading away almost. He shoots like a 1 foot fadeaway floater. I don't think I've ever seen a shot like that in someone's bag, but Jamal Murray has that. It was like a 1 foot fadeaway floater. It was such a weird shot that he knocked down, but that was a clutch bucket for Jamal Murray. He's 6 for 14 from three. The 4 turnovers is a little rough out there. Nikola Jokic has the 3 turnovers as well. Honestly, they were just trying to get anybody except Murray or Jokic to beat them. Jamal, most of the time he comes off the screen. They're trying to trap him. They're trying to swarm him. And that's the right strategy to have. If you just look at the stats, 11 for 25, it's not great efficiency, but watching the game, Jamal Murray, I thought had a really good game out there for the most part. Other than that late ass 2 point jumper he took, I thought that was just the wrong shot for that moment. Tim Hardaway, the 16 points. He's 3 for 3 from three, 4 for 9 from the field, the 3 rebounds. Just like with Christian Brown, Tim Hardaway did everything he needed to do to win the game. Bruce Brown has the 7 points. He's 2 for 4 from three. They could have got a little more from him, but I thought he had a solid game as well. Really just comes down to Jamal Murray's performance again. He wasn't quite efficient enough. I thought he had a good game, but his efficiency was bad. Then Jokic has the 24 points, 15 rebounds, 8 assists, the 3 turnovers, 24 points, 15 rebounds, and 8 assists. It's pretty much always a great game. We're just so numb to Jokic's stats. 8 for 20, that's bad efficiency, especially for Jokic. You usually expect him to always be over at least 50% from the field, especially in the playoff games. His three ball was really off. He's 1 for 7 from three. He had two air balls from three, if y'all remember, in this game, so that's pretty rough out there. Jokic, he did dunk on Rudy Gobert late in the game. He blew by him and got the one-hand dunk on Rudy, and that was shortly after Rudy Gobert got an offensive rebound and dunked on Nikola Jokic. But they're gonna need him. they're going to need him to be better. Rudy Gobert just did an amazing job defensively on Jokic, and he's probably the best, I think for sure, probably the best Jokic defender in the NBA. They just let Rudy play him one on one. He did a great job this game. In the fourth quarter, Nikola Jokic was 1 for 7, so Rudy Gobert really put the clamps on Jokic. That dunk I was talking about, where he blew by Rudy Gobert for the one-hand dunk, that was Nikola Jokic's only bucket in the entire fourth quarter. So they're gonna need him to be better. Again, they were just playing Rudy Gobert one-on-one defense. Once we go to Minnesota for game 3, Denver's going to do something differently, of course. They're going to give Jokic some different looks, maybe run him off ball, do some different things to get him some easier looks, try to get him some steals in the paint, and just kind of get Rudy Gobert away from him any way they can so Jokic can have an easier time out there. But if they're not playing Rudy Gobert in one-on-one defense, let's say Denver finds the answer for Jokic to deal with Rudy Gobert one-on-one. I don't know what the answer is because Gobert does a great job one-on-one on Nikola Jokic. But let's say they get off of that. Now they're just going to put Julius Randle on Nikola Jokic one-on-one. He can do a good job as well. And then they're going to have Rudy Gobert kind of roaming that back line. If y'all remember when Karl Anthony Towns was on the Timberwolves, they would have Karl Anthony Towns play Jokic pretty much one-on-one and then have Jokic on that back line just kind of roaming on the defense. So again, if they can find an answer one-on-one, or if Jokic can just start being more efficient against Gobert one-on-one, they probably switch Julius Randle on him and then start hitting him with double teams with Julius Randle and Rudy Gobert as well. But I expect Jokic to play better, but again, Gobert is going to make things just really, really tough for him out there. On to the Timberwolves. We'll just start with Gobert. He has 2 points. He's 1 for 4 from the field, 25% from the field, 7 rebounds, 1 assist, 2 steals, 0 blocks, 2 turnovers, and he was just fucking amazing out there. No one cares. His 2 points was that offensive rebound and the dunk on Jokic. That was less than 3 minutes left in the fourth quarter. That's all you ask for from Rudy Gobert. If he can give you 10 points, that's great, but just be in the dunker spot, get offensive rebounds, get easy buckets when you can, and then just play Hall of Fame, some of the greatest defense of all time. We love to hate on Rudy Gobert because he has bad hands and he's clumsy out there, but his impact on defense is just undeniable out there. He's not to Wembanyama's level, of course. Nobody is, but if you want to say Rudy Gobert is the second best defender in the NBA, you definitely have an argument for that. Yeah, just like we were saying earlier, he was amazing on Nikola Jokic. He held him to 1 for 7 in the fourth quarter, and the only bucket he got was that little dunk he got blowing by Rudy Gobert. Jaden McDaniels was a dog out there. It was in the third quarter, he gets 3 back-to-back buckets. He has a little turnaround jumper over Cam Johnson that was really nice. He has a finger roll. Then he has another little floater on the baseline that was really nice. He's 0 for 3 from 3. He's going to knock down some threes. As the series goes on, he is a solid 3-point shooter. 7 for 15 from the field, though. Really good efficiency. The 3 assists, 3 turnovers, so that's one thing you could nitpick on. But Jaden McDaniels always plays really strong defense out there. And, he had that little burst again, those 3 back-to-back buckets in the third quarter. They don't need Jaden to score 20-plus points every single game. If he can give you 15-plus or so with his great defense out there, that can be more than enough for the Timberwolves to win some of these games out there. And then Jaden, he is capable of getting hot and giving you 25-plus and really kind of pushing the Timberwolves over the top to get maybe one win in this series if he can catch on fire. But yeah, I thought Jaden was great out there. Naz Reid has the 11 points. He's 4 for 9, 1 for 3 from 3, 9 rebounds. Naz Reid is another guy. He can't guard Jokic one-on-one. Nobody can, honestly, even though Rudy did a good job this game. But Naz Reid is another guy they can kind of send to double-team Jokic and help swarm him when Rudy Gobert is having trouble down there. Dosunmu was great out there. He had the 9 points, 4 for 8, 5 assists, 4 rebounds. He's 1 for 2 from 3. Only 4 shots he made, but it felt like every single shot he made was kind of to kill a run. Like the Nuggets are on a run, he kind of quiets the run. Felt like every single shot he made was just so huge out there. I love Bones Highland. Bones is awesome. 13 points. He's 4 for 5 from the field, 3 for 4 from three, and he has 1 steal also. You can't really ask for more from Bones. Just amazing efficiency this game. 13 points off the bench, and it's not a surprise. Bones is just a really, really good player. Um, I look for him to just keep bringing that spark off the bench as the series goes on. Kyle Anderson gets out there for 5 minutes, has 0 points, and they get his ass out of there. Yeah, there was a Mike Conley side, and he gets 4 minutes out there as well. I thought I remembered seeing Mike Conley out there. Um, I already talked about Jaden McDaniels. Dante was just an absolute dog out there. He has the 16 points, 6 for 9 from the field. He's 4 for 7 from three. He didn't touch the rim on any of his threes. They're just totally wet. He shoots such a rainbow, and his shot is so beautiful. 7 rebounds, 6 assists, 1 steal. He does have the 2 turnovers. Dante just a fucking dog out there. His stat line, again, 16 points, 7 rebounds, 6 assists. That's about right. I wouldn't be surprised to see him keep having performances like this as the games go on. This is just a Dante DiVincenzo playoff game. This is kind of just what he does out there. Julius Randle was just a fucking dog out there as well. He has the 24 points. He's 50% from the field. Does get the 10 free throw attempts. So that's awesome to see. 9 rebounds, 6 assists as well. Julius, he takes the 4 threes. He took at least 1 or 2 in the first quarter. That's when Minnesota was just settling again for a bunch of outside jumpers. Austin Reeves, I think I mentioned, I thought he was awesome on the broadcast, but Austin Reeves made the point before Minnesota started doing it. He's just saying Denver has no shot blockers. You got to attack the paint. You got to stop settling for the 3 balls and the mid-range jumpers. And Julius Randle's at his best when he's just attacking and getting downhill. Every time he gets a mismatch, he had Bruce Brown on him once. Cam Johnson, Jamal Murray got mismatched on him a couple times, and he's just a fucking dog. Every time he gets a mismatch, and there's a lot of players that are mismatched against him. If you're fast enough to keep up with him, you're not strong enough. If you're strong enough to keep up with him, you're probably not fast enough. And he's just a mismatch nightmare out there. Yeah, I was going to say, again, they were settling for jumpers early in the first quarter. Once they kind of flipped the switch, Julius Randle was just a total dog, just getting downhill out there. Him and Anthony Edwards, when they have the ball in their hands off the dribble, somebody has to come over to double team. Julius Randle got the 6 assists off of those double teams, and there was even more plays where he just brings all the gravity to this side of the court and passes to the weak side and gets his teammates a wide open look, even though it might be a hockey assist and he doesn't get that assist directly. Anthony Edwards, he has a 30 points. He's 10 for 25 from the field, 3 for 11 from three. So the efficiency isn't great. He does get the 9 free throw attempts. Again, first quarter, he wasn't being aggressive. Once he started getting downhill, he was really getting to the line and getting all sorts of finishes at the basket. 10 rebounds, that's great to see. You love to see your guards just getting down there to help rebound. Julius had the 9, DiVincenzo had the 7. They just did a great job rebounding as a team out there. Valanciunas and Jokic are great rebounders, but once you start getting into the forwards and the guard players, Minnesota has better rebounders at the forward and the guard position, and then Rudy Gobert can bang down there with Jokic and Valanciunas, no problem. Yeah, Anthony Edwards. I saw someone leave a comment. They probably didn't watch the game, most likely. You look at his stat line here: 10 for 25 and 3 for 11 from three. So it's really bad efficiency. I don't know the percentage on 10 for 25, but I'm pretty sure it's under 40%. So really bad efficiency from Anthony Edwards. That's definitely true. But I thought he was totally great out there, to be honest. It's the playoffs. You kind of just throw efficiency out the window. If you shoot 10 for 30 points and your team wins the game, that's all that matters at the end of the day, is just winning the game. So you can look at his stat line again and nitpick it. He has the 2 assists out there, so people probably just think, oh, you had 30 points, 10 for 25, it's bad efficiency, even though he put up 30 points, and then he only got 2 assists, so you think he's probably not playmaking out there the way you'd want him to be. And it really just wasn't true. He's getting double teamed, he's getting triple teamed. They made everything really, really hard on Anthony Edwards, and he still scores the 30 points. Only has the 2 assists, so he wasn't getting direct assists. But again, if y'all watch the game, he might as well have had 10 assists. So many times he's getting double teamed, triple teamed on this side of the court. He kicks it out to Naz Reid, Dante DiVincenzo, Julius Randle, whoever it is, and they make that one extra pass. But the reason this guy is wide open in the corner is because Anthony Edwards is getting triple teamed on this side of the court, and he's just making the right play over and over again. He wasn't making the right play in the first quarter. He does trust his teammates. I'm sure Anthony Edwards loves his teammates, and they love him too. But, he was kind of trying to be aggressive in the first quarter, kind of trying to create shots for himself. And then he made the adjustment. They're just swarming him, double teaming him, triple teaming him. Then he started making the extra pass, making the correct pass, and his teammates were getting wide open shots, and it was really all because of him. And then Julius Randle did a great job as well when he was getting double teamed and triple teamed. But again, if you watch the game, he got so many wide open looks for his teammates on the weak side, even though he only had 2 assists at the end of the game. He had a nasty chase down block against Cam Thomas as well. He had 1 steal and 1 more block. He's just a dog. He's a two-way player. He played awesome defense out there, and he was inefficient, but I thought he was really, really good offensively as far as the impact he made with his gravity. Last point on Anthony Edwards, he's turning 24. I think he's actually turning 25 in August. And yeah, he's turning 25 in August. Anthony Edwards, we'll hear the Kobe Bryant comparisons. I love the comparison. He's a total dog out there. He loves the mid range. He's really athletic. So the Kobe comparisons are fair. He's not as good as Kobe, of course, but the play style and everything is similar. With Kobe, when Kobe was probably around the same age, 23, 24, 25, people would call Kobe a ball hog. He had a similar play style to Anthony Edwards. He's looking for his own shot. 90% of the time, the only way I'm passing the ball is if I don't have a shot open for myself, if I can't create my own shot. So that was Anthony Edwards' mindset pretty much up until this point in his career. Same thing with Kobe when Kobe was younger. Now Anthony Edwards is getting ready to turn 25, just like when Kobe was around that same age. And he already trusts his teammates, but he's starting to trust his teammates just even more and even more. And similar to Kobe, Kobe wouldn't get giant assist numbers, but so many times he's in the mid post, he's isolated, he's on the wing, wherever he is, and he gets double teamed or triple teamed, passes it out to the open man, doesn't get the direct assist, but the guy he passes it to makes that extra pass, and his team gets a wide open shot because he made the extra pass. So that's what I'm noticing with Anthony Edwards as his game kind of develops. He's turning into the playmaker, and that's what everybody was wanting to see from Anthony Edwards. That's the next step in his game. And again, I heard people talking shit, probably people that didn't watch the game. Fucking Ant-Man, he's 10 for 25. He's 3 for 11 from 3. He's ass. He had a terrible game. He's so inefficient out there. He only has 2 assists. He wasn't even playmaking for his teammates. And that's not even true at all. He might as well have had 10 assists because he created all sorts of open shots for his teammates just based on his gravity. And I love to see him trusting his teammates and just making the extra pass, even though he doesn't end up getting an assist directly for it. But awesome game. I'm so excited to keep watching this series as we go back to Minnesota. Please like and subscribe to my channel. I'm trying to get to 7 billion subscribers. Like the video, hate the video. Tell your friends about it. Do something to it. And we'll see y'all next time.